friend Jesse Vargas, WBO welterweight champion, and I want to invite you to watch Jackal boxing.
What's up, y'all? It's Jackal, Stand Clear Entertainment, and we're about to get into this week's boxing talk. First, we're going to do a recap over the fights that took place this past weekend, and then we're going to get into the big fight that's coming up this weekend, July 30th, at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Now, the fight that took place over the weekend in Las Vegas was Terence Crawford, undefeated junior welterweight kingpin, against undefeated Viktor Postol, who had the WBC junior welterweight title at 140 pounds. This was a much anticipated matchup, but it did not live up to the hype that Thurman versus Porter did. That was a much better fight, a much more entertaining fight. This was mostly a technical battle that Terence Crawford dominated. He shined in this fight right here. He made this fight look so easy from the beginning of the fight all the way to the 12th round. He won mostly all of the rounds in this fight. I think he lost maybe 1 or 2 rounds in the whole entire fight. But Terence Crawford took away Postol's best weapon, which was his jab. Postol wasn't able to get that jab off, and he wasn't able to use that height and reach advantage to be able to cause problems for Terence Crawford. Crawford was just too fast for Viktor Postol. He was able to land some crisp, clean, sharp punches with that left hand landing all night on the target and just basically dominating Viktor Postol in this fight.
Feint, jumps in with the jab like Pacquiao does and follows with the straight left hand behind it. Once he realizes the jab lands and pushes Postol back, clean left hand and a right hook right on top of the head right away, knocks Postol down. An easy right hook, wasn't even a devastating punch. He's first, like Max said, where he countered Terence's jab with a right uppercut, followed by a left hook, but then Crawford hit him with an overhand left that knocked him off. Kind of discouraged Postol. Then he countered with another left hand, overhand left that took his legs away from him, and his gloves ended up touching the canvas right here. That's considered a knockdown.
Dave Moretti, 117-108, all to the winner by unanimous decision.
It was a significant victory for Terence Crawford to show that he is on the rise as pound for pound one of the very best fighters in the world today, and he crowned himself the WBC and WBO Unified Ring Magazine Junior Welterweight Kingpin at 140 pounds. Now, what is next for Terence Crawford? A lot of people are saying Manny Pacquiao. Now, this fight between Manny Pacquiao and Terence Crawford, I don't believe is going to happen in November. I think that the business of boxing is going to prolong this fight till next year so that Manny Pacquiao and Terence Crawford can make a much bigger payday, because a lot of people are going to be interested in this fight. I think Manny Pacquiao is going to stay at 147 pounds and fight a guy like Jesse Vargas for his WBO welterweight title, while Terence Crawford will probably make a title defense against one of his mandatories at 140 pounds. He told Manny Pacquiao to come down to 140 pounds so he could fight him for his world titles. And I believe that Manny Pacquiao can make that weight easily and will be much stronger at 140 pounds. But I see this fight not taking place this year. I see this fight taking place in 2017, where the fight will be much bigger and the payday will be greater. So, who's next for a guy like Terence Crawford in the junior welterweight division? There's not many to pick from over there. Bob Arum doesn't have a good enough stable in the junior welterweight division to offer to Terence Crawford. Now that him and Al Heyman are doing business, maybe guys like Omar Figueroa, which we haven't seen in action in quite some time, could probably get a shot against a guy like Terence Crawford for his world titles. That would be an excellent, exciting matchup that I would love to see. But we have to see how Omar Figueroa is healing from his injuries. But I see Terence Crawford moving up to the welterweight division by next year. And there's a lot of big fights. The Manny Pacquiao fight, of course, and also guys like Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence Jr. Those fights are very big fights on the horizon for a guy like Terence Crawford, which I believe will be the future of the pound for pound #1 best fighter in the world once his time comes and he gets those big significant fights. I even see him going up as high as 154 pounds to the junior middleweight division and winning a title in his 3rd weight class like the other greats of the past. Terence Crawford is a special fighter, and I can't wait to see this man become the best fighter in the world, because he has the boxing skills, the hand speed, the sharpness, and the ring IQ in that ring to really adapt against his opponents. He was able to take away the best weapons from Viktor Postol, and he was able to get inside with that quick hand speed and just dominate Viktor Postol throughout this fight. So my hat's off to Terence "Bud" Crawford on his victory win, and I can't wait to see him in the future. Moving along to the big showdown this weekend, July 30th at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. It's the much anticipated matchup between the best featherweight in the world at 126 pounds, Leo Santa Cruz, taking on perhaps the second best junior featherweight champion at 122 pounds, Carl the Jackal Frampton, who is moving up in weight to challenge Leo Santa Cruz for his world title. This is a very good matchup. I've been a very big fan of the Jackal, Carl Frampton. I've been watching his career in the UK, and now he's finally coming over to the United States for the second time in his career, fighting in New York City, where he's going to have a very big Irish crowd on hand, and it's going to be a highly entertaining fight. It's not going to be a technical battle like we saw this past weekend. These guys are very good, high-volume punchers, especially Leo Santa Cruz. Very aggressive. He goes to the body very well. He has that height and reach advantage, but like we saw in the Postol fight against the smaller man, doesn't necessarily mean an advantage for that bigger fighter, because Carl Frampton is a very good boxer with quick hand speed. He'll be able to get in and get out in time to score those quick flashes. Carl Frampton is a very smart fighter, and he can box and also go toe-to-toe. He has pretty good, decent power, but the puncher lies with Leo Santa Cruz. He likes to wear down his opponents, use the jab, and go to the body to really get his fighters to stay stationary and be able to do a lot of damage with those combinations that he puts on. He puts on a lot of pressure on a fighter, and it's going to be very interesting to see how Carl Frampton adapts to that style that Leo Santa Cruz is going to bring. I can't wait for this fight. I'm rooting for the Jackal to come out victorious, even though he is the underdog in this fight, and Leo Santa Cruz has been riding a wave against lesser opponents in that ring. But we saw what he did against Mares. Can he be dominant again against the smaller fighter who is moving up in weight? Carl Frampton is going to have to do something really special and show his true talent to be able to overcome what Leo Santa Cruz is going to bring in that ring.
Leo Santa Cruz puts his title on the line. Here comes Santa Cruz against the undefeated Carl Frampton. Both guys in their prime.
Use my jab, my reach, and that's what we have to do to win the fight. That's what we're going to do.
Two fighters who are both champions.
Whether it's a knockout or on points, I don't care, but I'm going to win the fight.
Expect Leo Santa Cruz to come out victorious in this fight, but I'm rooting for the Jackal, Carl Frampton, to pull off the upset. That's who I'm going for. I believe that he can do it. It's going to be a very tough task for him to try to accomplish that, because I know that Leo Santa Cruz is a very good fighter, but he can be beat against a special type of boxer. Is Carl Frampton that special type of boxer? We will see this weekend if he can overcome that task. Tune in to Showtime at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be an excellent fight. We have the return of Mikey Garcia on the undercard. Mikey Garcia hasn't fought in more than 2 years, and it's about time that he gets into the ring and dust off. He's fighting a guy that's not really well known, but it's a fight that is just to get the ring rust off. And we hope to see Mikey Garcia in much bigger fights in the future. He's going to be fighting at a higher weight class at 140 pounds. And he should look very strong at that weight class. We know that Mikey Garcia is a technical boxer with good skills and pretty good hard-hitting punching power. A very tough Mexican fighter, and we love Mikey Garcia. We can't wait to see Mikey Garcia against the Omar Figueroas, against other guys in the junior welterweight class, guys like Terence Crawford, which will be an excellent fight matchup that Al Heyman, Bob Arum can make a big fight like that between these two, because ever since they were stablemates at Top Rank, a lot of people had wanted to see this fight for a very long time. But we have to see how Mikey Garcia comes back. We want to know if he's still the same fighter that he once was, or he's even a better fighter now with the layoff. But I would like to thank everyone for tuning in and watching me on YouTube. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. Hit that red subscribe button. Also, follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. And also join that Facebook boxing group page, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. I'm J. Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment. Thanks for your support. Keep watching and subscribe.